Uh, I hope I'm visible to everyone. Yes. Okay, so a very good morning to all of you. I hope all of you are doing great. So, dear students, I welcome you all for today's session. And even before I start, maybe I have to ask, is there any new students in the class for today? If in case any new students, please tell yes, there are new students in the class. You can put it in the chat box to all the online students. Any new students in today's class? Yes. Okay. Oh, great. I find there are many new students in today's class. Not a problem. To all the dear students, those who have joined today as the first class, let me tell you. So, we have started our class just yesterday, today being the second session. So, what and all we have discussed in yesterday's class, maybe I will have a quick revision of it. And not only that, apart from that, those who have missed yesterday's class, you no need to worry. You will be getting the recording of the class. So just drop a mail to our team. You will be receiving the link of yesterday's class. You can watch yesterday's class video. If you still have any doubts, you can reach out to me. Am I clear? I hope I am clear to all the students, those who have joined today as the first day. Okay. So what we have discussed yesterday, I'm going to just brief on that now for initial 10 minutes, and we'll be starting with the concept of today's class. So dear students, yesterday we started our discussion about what really happens in the interview rounds, or how many rounds of interviews we'll have, and what really happens in those rounds. All these general aspects we discussed. Why? Because you are here for what? You are here to get that first dream job of yours, get skilled and take the first job. So basically, when you're up to that, what and all is needed for you to clear the interview? Because all the skills, everything you will get. Apart from that, how really you're good in your interview rounds, this also matters. So 5 rounds of interview discussion we had, and what happens on that we discussed. After that, a very, very important thing we discussed, dear students, that is about the computers. So basically, what really a computer will understand? Computer will understand only 2 things. Am I clear? What are the 2 things? Only zeros and ones, which we tell it as binary language. Since it is understood by the machine, this binary language, we call it as machine level language. Are you all getting this? We call it as machine level language because the machine can understand that level of language. So we tell it as machine level language. Which one? Zeros and ones. But dear students, whatever the program we write will not be present in the machine level. Try to understand. Because our style of programming, writing a program, is present in the high level. What do you mean by high level? It is English-like statements. Yes or no? The programs that you write, how it is? It is English-like statements, correct? So when it is English-like statements, if you give the same code to the computer, do you think computer will understand that? Computer means inside computer, one main component is there, that is microprocessor. So do you think this microprocessor, that is the one which is responsible for execution? Are you all getting this? So do you think this whatever high level language code you write, if you directly give it to the machine, will it understand? No, dear students, it will not understand. Are you all getting this? It will not understand. Why? Why? Because it will understand machine level language, binary language, I said. But whatever you are giving is what? You are giving the code in terms of what? In the high level. So there is no compatible. That is when one software was invented. Can anybody tell me what really was the software? Those who have attended yesterday's class, can you please tell me? I told you about one software. Online students, you have to make use of one software. What the software will do? It will take the high level language code and convert it into machine level language code. Very good. Vamshi, very good, Vamshi. Okay, Vamshi has given me the answer. What about others? Prashant, good. Assembly. Vamshi says compiler. Yes. Let me tell, if in case you have an assembly level language, If you are giving it to the machine, it cannot understand. That time we make use of a software called assembler. It is not assembly, Prashant, it is assembler. But good that you have answered it. Okay. So assembler, what it will do? It will convert the assembly level language code to machine level. Similarly, if in case we have high level code, if at all we want to give it to the machine, we have to tell the machine to execute. We make use of a software called compiler. So what this compiler will do? It will take the high level language code and convert it to what? And convert it to the machine level language. Am I clear with this? Everyone? Yes? Great. So now moving ahead, I'll just give you an example so that you are going to get the complete clarity. Okay. So please be seated. So what really happens here is, it is like this. Let's say there are two people. Okay. Now, all of you can understand which language? Most of you in the online here also. Which language you can understand? Probably English. Okay, English. Apart from English. Apart from English. All of us will understand English, correct? Leaving English, I think all of you understand Telugu, Hindi, Telugu, right? Telugu, Hindi, these are the languages. Maybe I'll take one common language. I hope all of you will understand Telugu, everybody. Please say yes if in case you understand Telugu. Online students, I hope all of you will understand Telugu. Yes, great. Do you all understand Kannada? Do you understand Kannada? Online students? No? Okay, Gopi Chand says no, no. Okay, Prachi says yes. Okay, there are so many who understand Kannada also. And there are so many who don't understand. Do you understand Kannada? No, okay. So many of you are not understanding Kannada. Now, probably I will ask something like this. I will ask, Hegidira, Yen Marta Idira, something like this I will ask. Did anybody understand whatever I'm asking in Kannada? Did you understand what I'm asking in the offline? I hope in the online, did you understand? I hope, no, you did not understand, right? What I asked is, Hegidira. Hegidira means, how are you? In Marta Idira is nothing but in Kannada, if that means that, what are you doing? Now, when I asked you in Kannada, were you able to understand? No, right? Many of you are telling you did not understand. Why? Why? Because you don't understand the language in which I am talking. Are you all getting it? So maybe now I should ask you at least in Telugu, because you all understand Telugu. Or else maybe I would have asked in Telugu, so you would have understood. Correct? Directly, if I'm asking in Telugu, you would have understood. But the case is, I don't know Telugu. Are you understanding? I don't know Telugu. But you don't know Kannada. The language what I know, you don't know. The language which you know, I don't know. So you only tell me, will we be able to communicate? If at all the scenario is like this? No, right? Not possible. Now, what we both will do, we will bring one more person. I will bring one more person and I will make him to stand or make her to stand next to me. Who is that person, you know? That person will know both Kannada and Telugu. Now, what I will do is, instead of asking you directly, hey Gidira, I will tell that person. I want to ask hey Gidira to that person, I will tell. Now, this person will translate it to Telugu. And in Telugu, the person will ask you. What you will tell in Telugu for asking how are you? Ella now. Correct? Am I correct? Okay. So your friends here is helping me out. Ella now. So that person will ask Ella now like this. Then you will tell, yeah, I am good. You will reply in which language? You will reply in Telugu. Now, who is there? This translator. One person is there, right? That person will again translate to me in Kannada. So this translator, I am telling, right? One person. This person is only compiler. Are you understanding? So compiler, let's say you are the machine. I am the high level code, or you are high level code. I am the machine. Now, if I have to tell you to do something, I am telling in the language which I know, which is high level language. So if I directly ask you, you're not understanding. So you're not doing any work. You're not doing any task. What I will do is I will tell the compiler, I want this task to be done by that machine. So this compiler will convert into the language which machine will understand. That is machine level language, which is zeros and ones. Are you all getting this? Everyone? So compiler is a software which will convert the high level language code to machine level code. Am I clear with this? Because no other thing apart from the machine level language machine will understand. Only zeros and ones it will understand. So we need a compiler. What is a compiler? Compiler is a software, a kind of translator it is. If at all generally we have to tell, it is a translator. It is a software which will convert the high level code to machine level language code. I hope this much is clear to everyone. This is what we have discussed in yesterday's class. Is this clear to everybody? And as I'm telling, if today is your first day, you can just send a mail to our team. You will be getting the recording link of yesterday's class. You can watch that video completely, whatever we have discussed in yesterday's class. Am I clear? Yes, everyone? Can we proceed ahead? All the online students, please respond. Great. So now, dear students, moving ahead. Okay, great. So now I have got few things to present for all of you. I have a small presentation. After that, we will be proceeding for the next discussion. Am I clear? Okay. So give me a minute. Let me also have the projector here. I hope my screen is shared to everyone in online. And here, just give me a minute. That was okay. Dear students, if in case I ask you how a computer was looking in the back in olden days, maybe you will remember one image of a computer, correct? Yes. Today, if I ask you how a computer looks, how does it look for you? It looks so good, like laptops, all these things. That is what is present today. Computers means that is the most thing we refer. But if I ask you how computers were looking in olden days, maybe one image you might get in your mind. Can I tell this is the image that you get in your mind? Something like this? Yes, usually this is the image that comes into your mind, correct? Everyone. Dear students, if in case you think this was the computer, that is how it was looking in back in those olden days, let me tell you, no. When initially computers were invented, are you all getting this? When initially these computers were invented, it was not looking like the image that you are seeing on the screen. Rather, how it was looking is, the size, let me tell you first. The size of the computers were more than 1,200 square feet. Sorry, 1,800 square feet. If at all I have to tell 1,800 square feet, the classroom here in which we are sitting, it is 4 times bigger than this. Are you getting it? If you take a 30-40 site, at least you know some size of the site, right? If you take a land of 30-40, 30-40 is 1,200 square feet, correct? So it is the size of the computer were more than 1,800 square feet. You can imagine how big computer was. Are you all getting it? So if I just have to show a little image or a relatable image, the image, whatever you are observing, this entire thing is one computer. You can see people standing, all these things, right? So that entire thing was a computer that time. Are you all getting it? And the weight of one computer was almost more than 25 tons. I hope you know what do you mean. What is 1 ton, right? 1 ton is equal to how many kgs? Yes. 1,000 kgs or 100 kgs? 1 ton is equal to how many kgs? 100 kgs or 1000 kgs? 1000 kgs? Sure. Yes, everyone. 1 ton is equal to how many kg? 1000. Sure. So imagine more than 25 tons one computer weight was. But today, if I ask you how computer is, see, this is how a computer looks like, correct? How much handy it is. When I tell handy, means you can easily carry it in your hands, correct? This is computer. Maybe this is also computer, correct? Laptop also you can carry anywhere. And not only that, mobile phones. This is also computer only, right? Yes or no? You all can carry in your laptops. Are you all getting this? And this one, the tab, even this is also computer. Are you all getting this? Everyone? So this is how a computer were looking like, or looking like today. But back in those days, my dear students, this was the case. Am I clear with this? Everyone, is this clear? So I hope all of you understood what really was happening back in those days. Okay, ma'am. So we understood all these things. What is the next thing? So the next thing is, we understood that what and all is involved with respect to computer. Now moving ahead, we are about to discuss the next topic. I would tell the very, very important topic is what we are going to discuss next. So all of you just listen to me now. Okay. What is that we are going to discuss now is, we are going to discuss the history of programming languages. Are you all getting it? We are going to discuss the history of programming languages. Dear students, all of you just concentrate. Don't write anything. I'm telling to everybody. I'll give you enough time to copy whatever I write. Okay. First, while I'm explaining, please just listen. And after that, if I want you to write down something, I'll give enough time and I will only tell, please make a note of this. At that time, you write. Am I clear? Now just listen. Let me tell you this. See, when computers were invented, initially, don't think that as soon as computers were invented, they came up with the invention. They started you writing, programming, everything they did. No. Let me tell you, the initial purpose for developing a computer, does anybody know the reason for it? Mainly why they came up with the concept of computer, why they invented one machine. Let me tell that to you. Mainly, the computers were invented for one purpose. For when it was invented is during the World War. Are you all getting this? It was invented during the World War. For what purpose, you know? It was mainly invented for the purpose of bomb projections. They were all putting bombs, right? From one part of the place to another part of the place, they were all putting the bombs. Now, you know, human calculations, one or the other mistakes will happen sometimes. When humans are calculating manually, the calculations they do. Then what they did is, let us have a machine. Let us have a machine that will perform the calculation. So for the calculation of bomb projections, because those calculations will be appropriate, machines will usually not, it will make the appropriate calculations. Humans means, I will make one mistake. Someone is making a calculation, they might make another mistake. There are chances of many mistakes happening. So let us not do this. What we will do is, we will invent one machine. Let this machine do the calculation of the bomb projections. This was the main purpose for inventing computers during the time of World War. Are you all getting this? Later, what happened is, okay, all those things happened. After that, after World War finished, all these ended and many things, everything were becoming normal. That time they thought, okay, however, machines are doing many of the calculations. So now what we will do is, we will also use machines for calculating some other things also. During this thought, what happened is, one of the programming language was invented. Again, when I'm telling history of programming language, I'm not going to discuss all the programming languages that was there from past many years. Few of the famous programming languages, what happened when it was invented, these are the things that I'm going to discuss now. Am I clear with this? Because yes, today we are going to learn Java language, all that is fine, dear students. But back then what happened, you should be knowing these things also. Because as I have told here, everything from the basic is what I'm going to teach you. I will not assume that you know this concept, directly I will start this. No, that is not how it works. Everything from the basic is what I'll be starting with. Am I clear with this? Okay. So coming back to this, dear students, what happened is, if I have to be telling it, what happened is in the year, okay, in the year, maybe if I have to tell, just give me a minute. Okay. In the year 1957, in the year 1957, one programming language was invented. One programming language was invented. Who invented this language? A person by name, John Backus. Are you all getting it? There was a person by name John Backus. He came up with one programming language. What is this programming language? I will tell you. This programming language was invented mainly for the purpose of formula translations, because you know that mathematic calculations was the biggest thing. Even today, that is the biggest thing, right? All the calculations you make. So during those time, what they were doing is, they thought that, you know how the formulas are present in mathematics, right? If I ask you a plus b whole square, you tell a square plus b square plus 2ab. If I ask you what is a plus b plus c whole square, one formula you will tell. Like this, these are not the only formulas. If you know, in mathematics, there is n number of formulas, correct? N number of calculations are there, correct? Everyone. So these calculations, these particular, whatever the formulas are there, what they thought is, why should we have to make all these calculations? Let us do one thing. Let us have one programming language. So this programming, let it make all the operations, all the formula translations, let it do. This is what they thought. So with this thought process, this person, John Backus, whomever is there, he came up with one programming language. The name of the language happens to be something called Fortran. What is the programming language name? Fortran. What this Fortran stands for is, it stands for formula translation. It stands for what? Formula translation. As the word itself says, the main purpose of inventing this language was for translating all the formulas in the mathematical calculations. And what was the advantage? This programming language which John Backus invented, right? This was a high-level programming language. That is what people were demanding for. They wanted a high-level programming language. They don't wanted the assembly level language. They don't wanted the machine level language. All that they wanted was high-level language. And this Fortran language was a high-level programming language. Am I clear with this? Yes. Later what happened, dear students? Later what happened is, they were initially happy, okay? But there was one drawback with this language also. Do you know what was the drawback? This language was definitely a high-level language, but it was not able to perform more operations, which means this language was performing less operations. It was doing less operations. Are you all getting this? Very less operations. As soon as it performed some few operations, a few of the mathematical formula translations, it was just done with the program. It was not able to make more operations. And then what really happened is people started that, okay, we have a high level language, but since it is performing very less operations, it has become a little problematic, because they, with very less operation, if somebody is doing, it is done by the humans also. We want a machine language which can be done with respect to what, which can be doing more operations also. But people were initially going with this, there was not a problem. Later what really happened is, later in the year 1962, later in the year 1962, one more programming language got invented, dear students, by a person named Grace Hopper. His name is Grace Hopper. Definitely the language which he invented was a high level language. Along with that, what was the drawback in the Fortran language? It was performing less operation. That was a drawback. So in this language, he overcame that drawback. He came up with a language which was performing more operations. And which is the language? If in case you ask me which really is the language, everyone, let me tell you, the name of the language is COBOL. The name of the language is COBOL. What does this COBOL stands for? It stands for Common Business Oriented Language. What does it mean? It means, it stands for Common Business Oriented Language. Why? Because by the time 1962, when that year was there, already people started to become more into developing countries. Everyone started to become developing countries. So they had all these bank systems, many businesses started, entrepreneurs came up, all these things started to come up with developing the countries. When that time, everything, all the businesses started to grow, the people thought that, okay, in order to handle all these business logics, everything, if at all we have some software available, that will be very helpful. That is what people were thinking. During that time, what Grace Hopper did is, he came up with one language called COBOL. COBOL happens to be Common Business Oriented Language. And this was what? This was a high level language. Along with that, this was performing more operations compared to what happened with Fortran. Are you all getting this? Okay, ma'am. Great. So what is the next thing? So what is the next thing? If in case you ask me, definitely this also has some drawback, dear students. What could be the drawback of this language, ma'am? What could be the drawback is, definitely it performed more operations, but this language was a unstructured programming language. What type of language it was? It was an unstructured programming language. Ma'am, what do you mean by that? What do I mean by that is, a language should be a structured programming language, dear students. The programming language. Ma'am, why? Why? Because when it is properly organized, structured means it should be properly organized. There are a few things. Okay, here is what it should be present. It should have a probably method. It should have a class, or it should have some functions. It should have some variables. It should have some data types. All these is what we tell it as a proper structure. There is a format for it. That is what? There is a proper predefined format for it. That is what we tell it as structured programming language. But this COBOL language, what was there? It was not a structured programming language. Rather, it was unstructured. Ma'am, what is going, the biggest thing in that? I will only tell you. Okay, one example I'll give. If at all you have to attend the class, or let's say we all are attending the class. Now, how this class is conducted? In a very proper formatted way. We have a proper board here with a marker I'm writing. I'm standing here. Maybe in the class, if I take, we have a classroom, we have chairs arranged. Yes, agree everyone? Proper arrangement is there. Now, assume that proper arrangement is not there. If some student is coming into class, they want to sit, there are no chairs here. Chairs are present somewhere outside. They are not arranged. like this and all is present, do you think somebody will be able to do the things that they are here for? If at all I want to teach, I will stand somewhere else and I will teach. Is it so, like going to be in a proper manner? No, right? Yes. One more small example I will give. Maybe all of you look at this. I'll just have, I'll show one more thing now. Okay. So look at this. I'm going to share the screen here. I hope it is visible to everyone. Yes, here also. Look at this cupboard. How does it look? The cloths inside the cupboard, how it is? How it is? It is unorganized, correct? It is unorganized, correct? So maybe if at all you want to take one shirt from this, one t-shirt from this, how much difficult it is? Yes or no? In this heap of clothes, take out everything. Where is that shirt? Search for it. Then take it and wear it. By the time you take it in this heap of clothes, what it should have become, we don't know. Correct? If at all your clothes are present like this in the cupboard, or maybe if I have to tell, look at this also. In this also, in this entire whatever heap you are seeing, correct? In this, if you at all you want to find out any one cloth, how much difficult it is, correct? Agree everyone? Because it is not organized. Similarly, instead of this, if at all your cupboard looks like this, how nice it is, right? If you want to take any of the dress, any of the cloth from this, how much easily you can take? Whatever you want, you can take very much easily because it is properly organized. Agree? Everyone agree? Online students, do you all agree with this? Yes? If at all your cupboard is arranged neatly like this, how good it looks, right? Yes? See, everyone tell yes for this. Yes, everyone agree? That is what I am trying to tell you. So, if in case you want everything to be reaching in a faster way, how really you can do it is, that is when, with the help of what? With the help of organizing the things properly, you can get it. Am I clear to everyone? Yes? Am I clear? Yes or no? So, whatever you saw there was properly organized, nothing but it was present in a very structured manner. But this, whatever COBOL was there, this COBOL was an unstructured programming language. Then people got to know, okay, if at all we have a programming language in a structured way, it will be really good. This is what people thought. That is when what happened is there was one person who happens to be by the name a person by name Martin Richards came up with one programming language in the year 1967. Are you all getting it? In the year 1967, a person by name Martin Richards came up with one programming language. And this programming language which Martin Richards invented, which was a high-level programming language, it was performing more operations. Along with that, dear students, this was what? This was a structured, this was a structured programming language. All of you are getting this? This was a structured programming language. But maybe wait, I'll write this little this side. So this performed less operations and this was unstructured programming language. Okay, now it is proper. So if you look at this, the programming language which Martin Richard invented, this was a high level language. It was performing more operations. Along with that, it was a structured programming language. And what is that language, ma'am? The name of the language happens to be something called BCPL. What BCPL stands for? BCPL stands for something called Basic Combined Programming Language. Are you understanding? It stands for Basic Combined Programming Language. Dear students, now people were very happy that they have got a structured programming language. They were very, very happy. But let me also tell you, dear students, you might be thinking, ma'am, why really the people are demanding for more and more things? We humans are like that, right? Today, if you observe, is it the same world was present if I take 20 years back, how it was? Do you think today, however, the world is, was it present in the same way back in those 20 years? No, right? It was totally changed. There was nothing like this online things, maybe many things, whatever we are today, we are living. Malls, this, that, many things we have. Everything you want, online shopping, all this is there. Do you think it was the same when, if at all we take 20 years back, 25 years back? No, this is not how it was. The world was totally different. Why today the world has changed? Because of the updations. Are you understanding? Same way as years were passing, people were demanding for many, many different things. Because of those demand only, today, evolution of so many programming languages have happened. Are you all getting this? Yes. Now, dear students, BCPL, Basic Combined Programming Language, one more language was invented in the year 1967 by the person named Martin Richards, and his language was a structured programming language. But then they got to know, what they got to know is this language is there, right? BCPL is there, right? So this BCPL language, whatever you are seeing, was what? It was occupying. It was occupying more memory. What it was? It was occupying more memory. Now, ma'am, what is the memory issue, ma'am? Not a problem. You just take someone pen drive or take one memory card. Yes, all these things, options are there. Hard disk you take, many things are there. Yes, everyone. But you only tell me, today we have all these things, all these memory devices we have. Pen drive, memory chip or memory card or hard disk, many things today we have. But we are speaking about which age? We are speaking about 1967, long back. During that time, if at all, if they want one more memory, which is of some 2 GB, 4 GB, one more big room, that much big, one more memory used to be, memory unit is to be. Are you all getting it? That much big it was that time. So memory thing was not so easy how we have it in today's world. That was the biggest problem that they faced when it comes to BCPL language. Are you all getting this? Now, what really they did is, okay, so this is what is the case. Now we will do one more thing. What we will do is, let us come up with one more programming language. People thought, let us come up with what? Let us come up with one more programming language. So what is that programming language? I will tell you. What was the issue back in those days, online students? Could you all tell me what was the issue that time? Memory was the issue, right? Yes. So now what they thought, let us have a programming language. So back in the year 1969, one person was there. He was observing what was happening with BCPL. What was the issue? Memory. Mainly memory was the issue, correct? So he thought, I will come up with one programming language, which is a high level programming language, which will perform more operations. Along with that, this should be a structured programming language, and also which is going to occupy less memory. This was the main concern. All these things, along with that, main concern was it should occupy less memory. His name happens to be Ken Thompson. What is his name? Ken Thompson. Now, how intelligent he is, you will understand. How intelligent he is means he was observing. Main thing was memory issue, correct? Memory, as a programmers, always from the memory perspective, when you see, by seeing the name only, they should understand, okay, what exactly is this? They wanted to convey these things to the world, to the IT world, they wanted to convey this. Then he was thinking, what name I will give is, previously, what was the programming language name? Basic Combined Programming Language. Name is also big. Yes, name, however, it is big. The same way, it is also occupying more memory. Now, from the name only, he wanted to tell how big the name is. In the same way, the programming language is also occupying a big memory. Now, my language is occupying less memory. So what I will do is, with the name only, I will convey. How he did, what he did is, he named his programming language as what? B. That's it. He gave the name as B. See, previously, Basic Combined Programming Language. The name is big. Now his language name is just B. Name is also small. The memory it is occupying is also small. In that way only he conveyed that intelligent he was. That was one purpose, and another purpose for naming it as B languages, he was working in Bell Labs. I hope you have heard about this research company, which is present again in the USA, Bell Labs, a famous company for the research and organizations. So in this company is where he was working, and he came up with this language. So he wanted to give that tribute to the company also. So he named it as B language. Am I clear? Yes. Next, what was happening is, okay, definitely all these things were happening. Ken Thompson, it was performing less or occupying less memory. All these things, yes. But this also should have some drawback. Only then some language would have got invented. Agree? Because I told, as humans, how really this evolution happened is, they started to demand for more and more. Now, this programming community people, whom and all were there, all those programming community people, they thought, okay, if at all a programming language is a structured programming language, it is occupying less memory, all of things are good. Along with that, if at all the programming language is something called typed programming language, it will be more effective. This is what the demand started later. But this B language, which Ken Thompson has invented, right? This language was not a typed programming language. It was not a typed programming language. Ma'am, you told something called the structured, unstructured. Okay, we understood. Now, what is this? You are telling something called not typed. I will tell you. Dear students, now if at all you are filling any forms, if you're just registering for, if you're doing some registrations and all in the online, you all have seen, right? If you're filling one form, in the column, form, you will have one column, name column. You will have to enter the name, correct? One more field will be present as phone number. You will have to enter your phone number. Maybe you will have to enter your date of birth. One more field will be there. Email, one more field will be there. All these things will be there while you are filling the form. Yes. Now, in the name column, you have to enter characters only. Apart from characters, if you're trying to give something else, it will give you an error. Yes or no? If at all you're trying to create one account in the Instagram, if you're trying to create one account in the Facebook, you will have to tell name, first name, last name, all these things. Apart from name, if you try to give something else, will it take? No, right? It will tell enter characters only. Yes or no? In the number column, phone number column, you have to give phone number only. Instead of number, if you try to tell ABCD, will it take? No, numbers only you should give. Which means it is telling what type of data you should enter there. What type of details you are entering there. Yes or no? Yes. So I hope you are able to understand what is this typed. Type does nothing but typed programming languages will have specific type of data that they have to user have to enter to each of the column or each of the field. Are you all getting this, everyone? But the B language was not a typed programming language. But people were demanding, people started to demand for a typed programming language. Are you all getting this? And that is when the market was demanding for the typed programming language, another person is there who came up with having this drawback solved. So who was that person? I hope as soon as I tell this name, you all will be like, I know this person name. Can I tell the name of the person? Yes? Okay. So heard about a person. Dennis Ritchie. I hope many of you have heard his name. Heard, dear students? Dennis Ritchie, heard somewhere? Ma'am, I've heard, ma'am. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I can see yes. Gopi Chand saying yes. What about others? Heard this name? Online students? Yes? Okay, great. So this person, actually what really he did is, in the year 1972, okay, in the year 1972, he was observing that, okay, what was happening with B language. So he came up with one language, which was a high level language, which performed more operations. And not only that, it was a structured programming language. Along with that, it was occupying less memory, and also it was a typed programming language. Are you all getting it? It was a typed programming language. And now this person is more intelligent than Ken Thompson. He's more intelligent than Ken Thompson. Now he was thinking, what was thinking? Okay, Ken Thompson named his language as B language. On what basis he named? He wanted to tell the previous language was occupying more memory, basic combined programming language. His language is just B. It was occupying less memory. So he was thinking, in the same way, I should also tell my programming language name. I have to give the name. He has to give the name for his programming language. Now he has to tell, he was thinking, what name I will give? So I should give one such name. From the name only, people should think that I am one step ahead of the B language. He was thinking like this. Are you all getting it? Now, according to the alphabet, after A, who will come? B will come. B is one step ahead of A. Next, after B, which will come? C will come. C, in the alphabets, if you see in the English alphabets, C will come after B. Means it is one step ahead of B. So he wanted to tell, right? For that reason, what this Dennis Ritchie did is, he wanted to tell his programming language is one more step ahead compared to B language. So he named his language as C language. Are you all getting it? So this was the reason why he named it C. He wanted to tell his language is one step ahead of one step ahead of B language. In this way, he named his language as C language, dear students. But later, again, the demand changed. What happened? The demand changed. Now what people started to demand is, okay, they wanted a typed programming language, yes, but now the demand became different. What was the different, you know? Anybody knows? What really is it? See, I don't tell C is something that is failed. C is not failed, okay? Even today, in its own domain, it is having its importance. If you take up embedded systems, all these type of things, there they use C language only. But when it comes to the solving real life problems, real world problems, some softwares are needed. So how really the softwares, what language it will be needing is, it will be needing something called object-oriented programming language. But C language was not, it was not object-oriented programming language. Are you all getting this? It was not object-oriented programming language. Am I clear with this? Ma'am, okay, you told typed, not typed, you told structured, unstructured. So what is this object-oriented? Maybe till now, if someone asks you what is Java, you will tell all Java is an object-oriented programming language. This one name everybody will tell, correct? Yes, but what really is object-oriented programming language if someone asks you? Again, I have seen students will answer like this. Ma'am, it was something called object orientation is having 4 concepts, ma'am. Polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation. That is not as the answer. They are the concepts of a object-oriented programming language. But what is object-oriented programming language? That is not the answer. Then what is object-oriented programming language? Maybe on the 5th day or 6th day, we'll have one complete class in which we are going to discuss object orientation. Am I clear with this? But as of now, please wait for 5th day or 6th day of class. That is when you will understand object orientation completely. But now you all should understand that C was not object oriented programming language. Am I clear with this? Then people wanted a object oriented programming language, right? Now one more person was there. You know who is that person? Anybody knows who is that person? Okay. Later in the year, first let me mention the year. In the year 1985, one person was there. He was actually a friend of Dennis Ritchie. His name happens to be something called, his name is Stroop. Bizarre name, Stroop. Okay, this Stroop was actually a friend of Dennis Ritchie. He was properly observing what Dennis Ritchie was doing, because Dennis Ritchie from past these many years, he was observing and he came up with this language, right? Now this Stroop was also observing Dennis Ritchie's language. Then he understood, okay, now the demand is for object-oriented programming language. What he did is, he was just, after he finishing his work, because he was colleague also, he was his colleague and friend, without knowing to Dennis Ritchie, after going home, he was working on this. Okay, he was working on what? He was working on inventing a programming language, which was definitely a high-level language, which was performing more operations compared to C language. And also, it should be a structured programming language. Along with that, it should be occupying less memory. Along with that, it should be typed programming language. Along with that, it should be object-oriented programming language. This is the language that he invented. Okay, he invented, okay. He invented, Stroop worked, he invented that one more new programming language, which was mainly a object-oriented programming language. Do you know which one is that? Anybody? Java? Okay. Online students? Any guess which language it can be? Just a guess. I'm not expecting the exact answer from all of you. If you all can guess what it was, Java language, Java programming, okay, Gopichki. Any, in others? Okay, no issues. Now, if in case you ask me that what is that language is, Java, if you are guessing, no, you're wrong. Okay, what language I will tell. He wanted to give name to the programming language, correct? Now, he was thinking, okay, see what Dennis Ritchie did. He wanted to tell, how Ken Thompson did. BCPL, just B he told, to tell his language is occupying less memory. Next, what Dennis Ritchie did, he wanted to tell his language is one step ahead of B language, so he named it as C, correct? Now, with the name only, Stroop also wanted to tell that his language is one more step ahead of C language. Because it is object-oriented language, he wanted to tell it is more one step ahead. He thought, okay, I will do one thing. I will probably name it as D language, because after C, what will come in the alphabets? After C, what will come? D will come, correct? So he thought he will name it as D. Then one thing came into his mind. You know what was that? Say suppose he is going to name his language as D language. If in case he tell D, D means what? Dennis Ritchie. If he names his language as D, then everybody in the world will think that it is Dennis Ritchie's another language, they will think. Because C was a popular language that time. Everybody in the world knew C language. They were using C language, and everybody knew Dennis Ritchie. Dennis Ritchie was so famous at that time. Now, if in case this language he gives the name as D, all the credit will go to whom? All the credit will go to Dennis Ritchie. People will not get to know it is Stroop's language. Oh, then Stroop thought, yeah, I have worked day and night. I have worked day and night after the office, everything. Why should the credit go to Dennis Ritchie? Let not Dennis Ritchie get the credit. He wanted to tell that. At the same time, he also wanted to tell that his language is one step ahead of the language, right? So then he named it as C++. See, in the programming language, plus plus means what? Plus plus means incrementation. Are you all getting it? Means addition. It is more. So plus plus in the programming language means that is what it indicates. It is addition. It is one more. More it is indicates. So in order to tell that C++, his language is one more step ahead of C language. So he named it as C++. Am I clear with this? Everyone? Yes, online students? Till here, is it clear to everyone? Sheikh Muntaz, C++. Yes, very good. It is C++. Am I clear with this to everyone? Okay, fine. So now what happened is C++ object-oriented programming language demand was there, so nice of it. All these things happened, dear students. It was going really, really good. But one small drawback was there that led C++ not to be so hit. When I say so hit, why really it lost the popularity? Do you know anybody knows the reason? See, when it was initially invented in the 1985, that was going really good, really good. People were very, very happy for it. But one small thing happened. What is that small thing is? Till 1990, it was going good. Later, in the 1990s, one thing happened. One small thing, not small thing, sorry, one great thing happened. Because of that, the demand changed. What is the demand changed? What happens in 1990s? Anybody know? One great thing happened, one great thing invented in 1990. Anybody is aware of it? Can anybody guess what happened in 1990? Ma'am, we don't know. We know. What is it? At least respond something. Know anything? What happened in 1990s? Mobile phones, okay. Online students, what happened? Any idea about it? No, ma'am. Okay, not a problem. If you don't know, not a problem. I'm here to tell you. But I'm asking before that. Okay, one hint I will give. One hint I will give, okay. Today, all the online students, if at all you are able to attend the class live like this, that is the reason for it. If at all we are able to, yes, very good. Very good, Vamshi. This, the internet, the networking, the famous Tim Berners-Lee, I hope you've heard his name. He invented the internet, the networking. Are you all getting this? So till then, people were just, they did not know this concept of from one getting connected from one part of the place to another part of the place of the world. This and all was not there. Later, when internet came, all these things started. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. So this happened. Am I clear? So then what happened is the demand for a programming language started. What type of programming language the demand started is something called a portable programming language or a platform independent programming language. The demand for this started. But C++ was not a portable programming language. Or in other words, I can also tell it was not platform independent programming language. It was not a platform independent programming language. Ma'am, what is this platform independent? You are telling portable, you are telling. Don't worry, every single thing in detail you will understand in the next class. That is what is our discussion. What is this portability? What is platform independent? We are going to discuss that only. Are you all getting this? Everyone? So this C++ was not a portable programming language. It was not a platform independent programming language. When this portable demand for portable language started, when after invention of the networking and the internet, that is when the demand for these language started. Then one person was there who was watching this. Okay, from the year 1985 only this person was watching. Later, in the year 1995, in the year 1995, in the month of May, okay, one new language came to the market. This language was such a language which was doing all of these things. It was high level, it was performing more operations, it was structured, it was occupying less memory, typed, it was object-oriented programming language. Everything was there. Are you all getting it? I'm not writing it again. Okay, you all should write, but it was definitely an object-oriented programming language. Along with that, it was a platform independent programming language, or I can also tell it was a portable programming language, dear students. It was a portable programming language. Are you all getting it? Now, who is the one who was watching? There was one person by name James Gosling. There was one person by name James Gosling. Along with him, and I'll write it down, 11 members team. He had a team and it was led by one person whose name happens to be James Gosling. And the name of this team was called as Green Team. What was the name of the team? Green Team. Okay, this Green Team is the one which had 11 members in it. And who was the head of that team? James Gosling. Are you all getting it? So James Gosling and his 11 members team were working on one programming language. They started working on the language 10 years before only, because this language was released to the market in the year 1995. But they started to work on the software when C++ came. That time only they started to work on this. So they were working for almost 10 years, they were working. And finally, in the year 1995, it was ready. Finally, when it was ready, it was not just object-oriented programming language, it was a portable programming language. It was also a platform-independent programming language. Now, they wanted to name this. They wanted to give a name to this. They thought, okay, how all people did till now, how they were doing, let us also do like that. Now, giving the name is the biggest challenge. Are you all getting it? Then they thought, okay, how they have named, how Stu Stroop, this Dennis Ritchie and all did, we will also do like that. Then James Gosling and his team, they thought, okay, we have to give a name, right? Let us give a name like this. What name we will give? How these people have told, they are one step ahead, they are one step ahead. Similarly, we are also one step ahead. So what we will do is, we will tell our programming language is again one more step ahead of C++. And not only that, whatever the drawbacks are there in the C++, we have removed all the drawback and we have made so many new updations also. Ours is more efficient. So to tell that what they told us, okay, we will tell C++. Since we are one more step ahead of C++, so we will again tell plus plus. And since we have eliminated all the drawbacks of C++, we will tell minus minus. They thought they will name like this. But you only see if someone asks you which course you are doing, you will tell I'm doing C++, minus minus course. How really it sounds, right? Yes or no? It doesn't sound good. Everyone, does it sound good? No. So then they thought, okay, this is not a suitable name, they thought. Are you all getting it? This is not a suitable name. Then they thought, okay, why don't we do like this? We will give the name of our team only, because we entire team, we developed this, right? We invented this. So let us name it as green. They thought, let us name it as green. But green is something that really doesn't sound good. How really, if someone tell green language, what is it? So, okay, this is not suitable, they thought. Then what they did is, dear students, from past 10 years, they were working on this, I told, right? So there was one tree, one small oak tree that was present outside the office, exactly where they all were sitting, right? There only one tree was there, small tree, oak tree. As and when they developed this program, same way that oak tree was also growing in those 10 years. And I hope you know about oak tree. They are such a tree which tall very long. Yes. So they wanted to tell how this oak tree was growing higher. Same way our programming languages will also grow higher and higher. Like how the development happened, same way that tree was also growing. So let us tell it that way. And they thought naming it as oak. They thought to name it as oak. But if you know, what really happened is, there was already another company who had registered their name as Oak. I hope you know this. This is a rule that there cannot be, the name cannot be copied. One company is having a name, you cannot take the copy of that name. Are you understanding? Then what they thought, okay, this was also not there. Already there is another company with that name registered. Now, what to do? This was the biggest thing. They have the programming language ready. They want to release it to the market. Everything is there. But what name we have to give? This was the biggest issue for them. Are you understanding? Yes. Now what they thought is, okay, all these things were happening. During that time, one more thing was also happening. What is that one more thing? I will tell you. Dear students, in 10 years, don't think that that journey of 10 years was easy for them. Are you all getting it? The 10 years journey was really not easy for them. They had so many ups and downs, many ups and downs. Sometimes they used to get frustrated, very frustrated. They were like, no, we will not do this. We'll not continue with this. Let's not do this project. These things and all have come because 10 long years on that one project they were working, inventing that programming language. Are you all getting it? But whenever they used to get frustrated, they were taking the break. Small breaks they were taking. Even that is how we do, right? When you continuously sit for one class, you take some short break. Yes, this is how we all do. So then all these people, James Gosling and his 11 members team, they were taking a small break that time. Every time when they get frustrated, everything, there was one coffee shop in front of their office. Are you getting it? One coffee shop was there. And as soon as they go to that coffee shop and just have that one sip of coffee, they don't know how good they used to feel. With that one sip, they were feeling so relaxed. Are you understanding? With that one coffee sip, they used to feel so relaxed. They used to get so refreshed with that. Whatever the frustration, everything is there. It used to go and they were getting refreshed. And they started to do their work again. They used to get so refreshed with that coffee. So then they thought, in all these 10 years, There was nobody else with us. Whenever we were getting frustrated, that coffee was the one which was giving energy to us to do our work again. Are you getting it? So don't you think, let's give the tribute to that coffee, they thought. And that coffee, what they were having from the coffee shop, the coffee bean is there, right? Coffee bean, all of you know the coffee bean, right? Coffee powder is made up of the beans, coffee beans. So the coffee bean, because not, don't think there is only one type of coffee bean. There are so many categories. This coffee bean which they were having from the coffee shop, it belonged to one particular category. That category was only Java. Coffee bean is there, right? It belongs to one family called, you know, all the particular crops belong to one families, right? So the coffee bean belonged to a category called Java bean. So coffee bean name they named. Am I clear? This is the name of whatever today we tell Java language, Java programming language, Java, Java, Java. Do you know what really Java is all about? How the name came? This is the actual reason behind naming it as Java, the coffee bean name. And have you all seen how the logo of Java looks? I hope I don't know how many of you have seen. If you have not seen, I will show it in the next classes. It looks like the logo of Java is present like this. There is one cup and a saucer, and there is a steam coming out of that cup. Coffee cup, saucer, there are steams that is coming out of it. This is how the logo looks, because they have given the tribute to that coffee shop and the coffee bean. Am I clear with this, everyone? So this is what really the evolution happened with the programming languages. Am I clear to everybody, dear students? All the online students, did you get the clarity about what really happened in the programming languages? Yes, great. So this is about it. Definitely, what is this portability? What is this platform independent? All these things I will be speaking tomorrow's class. That is our discussion for tomorrow's class. But now what you all have to be doing is you have to take down the heading as history of programming languages and make a note of everything that we have written. Am I clear? So I'll give you enough time to everybody. I'll give you 10 minutes of time. All of you make a note of this and then come back. We'll continue with the next topic. Am I clear to everyone? Yes? The class is not over yet. Please don't think that we have done with the class. We are not done with the class. I just want you to copy all of this thing, whatever is there here. Yes? So all of you, please make a note of this, whatever is there on the board. Okay. So dear students, I hope you've understood about what really happened with the history of the programming languages and all of this. So even before we proceed for the next topic, maybe I've got few things to show from our side. I hope you know this organization is what all about. So we stand for your solutions, as you know. This organization is meant for, or the purpose of coming up, the organization is mainly to help the students or the student community. Let me tell you what it is. See, today, if you look at the current world, there are maybe, there's one survey that was conducted by one of the organization, AICTE. I don't know how many of you have heard about this. It is All India Council for Technical Education. This is what AICTE is. So according to a research conducted by AICTE, they have submitted the report of it in the year 2023. It says that every year there are more than 15,60,000 engineering graduates or graduates, they graduate from the colleges. From this 15,60,000 some number, how many of them will be getting a job even before they go out of the company? Even before they go out of the college. That is, on campus, how many of them will get a job is, it is only 1,60,000 some number, or 1,80,000. This is the number. Are you all getting it? I'm not remembering the exact number, but this is a report, and you can also have a Google search. I'm not telling something that was not there. So when you minus this 1,80,000 odd from 15,60,000 odd, how many of them left unemployed? I mean, how many of them are not having a job in their hand? It is 14 lakh some number. Are you all getting this? Everyone. So 14 lakh odd graduates will not have any job in their hand after they graduate. Now, what they will do? Or why do you think this is happening? Before I tell what they do you know why this is happening? It is because of the skills, the expectation, the skill set expectation that is there from the IT industry. Maybe they are not matching the expectation with respect to skill sets. Are you getting it? Then we thought that maybe let us be as that one helping hand to all of them who really are unemployed, who really need the skill sets that is needed in the industry. So with that mission and vision, we have started this organization to help the student community. Now, how are we going to help you in this? We are going to help you for a fresher, what and all technical skills are needed. We make sure we provide you all the technical skills needed. And also, after you finish this gaining the necessary skill sets, we also provide you placement opportunities. Are you all getting it? So when the necessity skill sets you have the job opportunity, nothing but you have the drives coming up, you can always get that first dream job of yours. So with that, few of our students from the previous batches whom and all have placed, what really they have to speak about is what I have. A small video about it is what I'm going to play for you now. Am I clear? And another important thing to everyone I have to tell you, if in case you think that, okay, not here, I know some organizations where they tell they are going to give 100% job. Let me tell you, you go there, pay money, join. But before you join, do one thing. Am I clear? What you do is, while you are going, take one bond paper and go. Ask them, 100% will you give me a job? I'll give you this money. You should give me a job. Ask them to sign on that bond paper. That 100% they're going to give you a job. I mean, you will get a job. If in case they are ready to sign, then you please join, or else please don't join. Because if you ask me, ma'am, will you sign and give on the bond paper? I will tell, no, I will not sign. But what I can guarantee you is, I can give you 100% guarantee on one thing. What is that? Till you get your first dream job, 100% of unlimited placement opportunities I can give you. 100% preparation, whatever is needed from the skill set, I will make you get prepared. You should be the one who have to get that job, because I am not going to attend your interview. If at all that was the case, I can go on attend your interview. Definitely, I would have signed the bond paper. I will get you the job. At the end, who has to attend the interview? If you want a job, you should only attend your interview. You should only clear your interview. What and all is needed for you to clear that interview, for that I will be there with you. The entire team of We Stand For You will be with you. Are you all getting this? Everyone? So it's you who have to do it. That is why I'm telling from the very first class. I need only two things: your belief and your complete concentration. Your dedication is what is needed. When you give that, whatever I tell you to do, whatever the homework or assignment or practice, if you're doing it, definitely within we complete this 100 working days, you will be having the offer letter in your hand. Am I clear with this? Yes, everyone, not just here, anywhere you go, you should be the person who will be taking that job. Not anybody else is going to do for you. Am I clear? If there is one organization who is going to give you 100% guarantee, in front of their office, there would be a queue of 14 lakh students standing. Because there are more than 14 lakh graduates who don't have job. Are you all getting this? Everyone. So please understand with that. So with this, maybe I think I have conveyed you what really are the things practically that are there. So practically what is there? Let us speak on that. Am I clear? Now I have a small video to show to all of you. So please see to it.
After the completion of 100 days of the full stack development course, I have received a package of 3.2.
Just a minute. Online students, are you able to hear? Please tell me. Are you getting the sound? Yes? Okay. In the offline, there is no sound.
Five LPA from the company called 5Gen Care. My name is Pawan Kalyan. I have completed my bachelor's degree at Vijay Vital Institute of Technology, specialized in computer science and engineering. I have found out about V stands for You Solutions to their official Instagram handle, and I had taken up their full stack development course, which is of 100 days. So in the 100 days, they have taught me about the front end and the back end as well. And the teaching environment has been very good and very insightful because of the trainers who are based off their previous professional experience in the IT field. They have very insightful knowledge of the skills and tools, which is the current state of the economic market which is going on. So after taking their weekly mock interviews of the tests, I have attended almost of 3 interviews, and this is my third interview which I have got my dream job. So I thank We Stand for Your Solutions for this opportunity to land me my dream job. Thank you so much.
Okay, so to all the students, I hope I have made this clear to everyone about what really is this and what is our mission and vision and how is that we are going to work towards the student community. So I just request only two things: your belief, your time, and your dedication. So if you're ready to give me that, I am assuring you that we will be with you in this journey of you getting your first dream job. Am I clear with this? So with this, I'll keep the class till here for today. about platform dependent, what is this portable, all these things is what we are going to discuss in our next class. Okay, so let's all meet in tomorrow's class. Thank you.